Now we're going to work with packing tape transfers. For this, you're obviously going to need some packing tape and a bone folder or an old credit card because you want to be able to get some good contact with your paper. And then you want to just choose an image. And these images are, when I get Stampington magazines, they often have, depending on the issue, the type of magazine, they often have clip art and artist papers and stuff like that, so I like to always save that. Or you can get any kind of clip art that you may purchase somewhere. You can use regular photos, but when I have tried to do this, it doesn't work well with the ones that you get that are from some of the processing places because they kind of have a plasticky feel. It needs to have something that has paper on the backing. So images from a book. You can even use scrapbooking papers. So first you want to just pick your images, and obviously you're going to be limited by the width of your tape. So whatever size your tape is going to be what the size of the image you can use. So for your image, what I find is easiest is that if I hold it loose like this, and I let the bottom edge touch first. Then you want to make sure that you get really good contact. So you want to get a bone folder, and I can see the portions that have really good contact, because you want that image to be on that tape, that adhesive, really well. Now you don't have to go crazy. Once it's on and you can tell that it's on, that's all it needs. I'm going to do this next one too, because there's a difference between, you notice this image on the left has a lot more dark to it than the image on the right. And it will make a difference as to what kind of look you're going to get. So give us some good contact. If you have a good strong thumbnail, you can just do it with your nail. And then we're going to take our photos, and you want to get a pan or a bowl of water, and the warm water is best. And we're just going to lay that in there. We want to be able to have the whole image submerged, and you're going to let that sit for a while. Now as I put this in, I can see the edges of the paper really getting wet, and so that's good. That's what we want, because we want all this paper pulp that's on the back of our images. Let me just do one at a time. You can see it's bubbling, it's getting really, really wet in there. So what we're going to be able to do, just let it sit a long time. What you don't want to do is scratch it with your nail like I just did. You want to be able to rub with your finger all of that paper off. This is the edge that did not get caught with the tape. That's why I was saying it depends on how wide your tape is as to how much of an image you're going to get. So if it's only 2-inch wide packing tape, that's as wide of an image as you're going to get. So for larger images, we can do a different type of technique. So you're just going to work it, getting all the paper off. You can see our lady is still there, but we still have a lot of white left. If you continue to see white, you know, obviously your paper's still there, so you just want to continue to rub. Again, do not use your nail because you'll scrape that whole thing off of there, and that's not what we want to have. So you just keep scraping until there's no more white, until you've gotten all the paper off. It might take a little bit of time, but that's okay. If you want to dump out your water and change it and get some more warm water if it's not that warm anymore. Because once it gets cold, I mean, it'll still work, but it works a lot better when it's warm. So it's done when you can't feel any more paper on the backing. And you've got a great image to now add to your journal. So now I have both my dark and my light images pretty well done, and if I lay them here on book paper, you believe it or not, but this tape is still sticky. What you can see is that dark image, you can still see some text beneath it, whatever your background is. But that lighter one is a lot more clear, and you're really able to see a lot of the text better. Again, that's just going to depend on how you want your image to look. And there may be spots, like I see some spots where the image did not come out that well, and that's because either there is paper behind it, which I pretty much took off all the paper of mine. That's probably where I just rubbed it a little bit too hard. But that's kind of the beauty of a transfer. It's not going to be perfect. It's going to be a little bit hazy to some degree. But now I can take that and add it to my journal pages. You can also do packing tape transfers with scrapbooking paper. What started out as a dark word like this ends up being really nice and faded like that. Another one I've done is from the paper pack. This was quite a few years ago too, from Seven Gypsies. And I love how this one turned out. I'm going to turn it this way so you can see all of it. And on the back of that paper is a red text, which looks really awesome as a transfer.